Hey, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl, Jennifer Watson here. And today we're talking about what is a spiritual journey, right? Because I get this question a lot. There are a lot of people that are out here that are on a journey, but they're not really sure where they're going. It's almost like you just wake up one day and you start walking somewhere. You really have no destination in mind, but you're just taking a walk. You're just walking and going wherever the wind takes you, wherever the water may flow, right? But sometimes along the way, you can get a little bit lost along this walk. So if you take a left turn and you're like, ooh, wait, I don't know about this. Sometimes you might have to turn around to try to find your way back to your path. And that's what happens to a lot of people. And it's okay, because I found myself in that same awkward space before as well. But it's important that when you're on this journey, when you're on this path, that you stay to the path and you don't try to take too many turns, because it's very easy to get lost. So what do those turns mean? So if you're on this path to learning more about yourself, learning more about what it means to be spiritual, learning more about, crystals, Reiki, tarot, African spirituality, right? If you're walking and you decide to take a left and then you decide to take a right, you decide to learn about crystals, you decide to learn about tarot, you decide to learn about African spirituality, you decide to learn about Wiccan, you decide to learn about hoodoo, there are so many different turns that it can be very easy for you to get lost. Because if you are walking and you don't remember where you came from, then how in the world are you expecting to get back on the path to get to the destination? That's what I'm trying to say. So my advice to you is determine your destination, at least somewhat, right? You might not have a very clear definition of what that place, that destination is, but at least try to have some kind of goal in mind. And that goal is going to be ever flowing, right? It might even change along the way. For example, for me, about a year ago, I've been on this spiritual journey for a while, right? For years, almost over 20 years. No, it's been over 20 years. And I just really flowed. I took a lot of turns. I went here, I went there. I didn't go too far off the beaten path, but I did find myself questioning, okay, let me try to return to my origin state to see what is a path, because I've tried going out and just journeying along the way on my own, which it was okay because I knew that I was being guided towards something. But at the same time, I got so caught up down this road that I said, well, this doesn't feel right. I'm going too far down it. I need to come back and try and figure a way how to get back to where I need to go. And the question is what is a path, right? And so my question in essence was, where in the hell am I going? I had to figure out where I was going. I had no idea. And so it took me some time to kind of sit back and see, let me see where I've been. And let me see if where I've been actually does exist. Can I combine all of those turns into one set goal, one set destination? And so during this period of time, I started asking a lot of people, hey, what does a path mean to you? What is a spiritual journey? I was just asking many different people who were on different paths, right? I asked someone who practiced Wicca. I asked someone who was practicing hoodoo. I asked someone who was practicing voodoo. I asked a lot of people on varying paths. And so based on their response, I kind of sat back and I go, okay, I understand what their answer is. But I didn't internalize their answer. I just tried to understand where they were coming from, and so understanding how they got to that point. What was their determining factor in saying, okay, this is the path that I want to go on, right? And so when I did that, I said, okay, well, what do I like? What have I liked? I still like crystals. I still like understanding law of attraction and manifestation. Like, I love crystals since I was a little girl. That's never gone away. I really love making stuff. What else? There's so many different things. I do love being out in nature. Not a huge fan of insects, but for whatever reason, I had to throw that in there. And I found myself having a conversation with my now godfather, asking him, I approached him. I said, what is a path? And we sat and talked about it a little bit, and everything lined up. I talked to my ancestors. I had been doing genealogy for over 10 years before I really knew that I was supposed to be talking to my ancestors, but let alone they were talking to me the whole entire time, especially during my heavy, intense research phase. And when after talking to him, I said, okay, I can dig this. I can get this. Now, along the way, because I had picked up so much, past life regressions, hypnosis, all of this other stuff, and I decided to go down the path of Regla de la Osha because it did combine a lot of the things that I was always interested in, like especially being able to still communicate with the dead because they just like talking to me, especially at night when I try to go to sleep. And I can still wear my crystals. That's not really frowned upon, right? I felt okay. Now, here's the thing though, because I decided to go down one particular path, and also because I had accumulated so much other outside information that doesn't necessarily narrowly fit into where I'm at now. I am now at a place where I am understanding what I understood then and known then with where I'm at now, and trying to understand how they both synchronize and how they both aid people into, going down and either being a hypnosis or understanding past lives, understanding the Akashic records, like we don't really utilize the Akashic records in the Regla de la Osha path for me, but I can understand what they are in reference to where I'm at now because I took the time to learn a lot of what it was and what it really meant. And so my suggestion to you is really question yourself. What is your path, right? Because our path, if we stay on our path, trust me, you will never get lost. But sometimes it's okay to take detours because sometimes those detours do create obstacles, but at the same time, they help us to learn. They further our growth, along this thing called life. Question yourself. And what you'll find is after you've gathered all of this information along your path, there are some common themes and there are some common traits that weave themselves in and out of these different methods that you can combine into something to further along in that particular direction in your path. So that way you don't get lost. You understand how all of those pieces fit in that goal, in that ultimate goal. So I like I said, I talk to a lot of people who do find themselves lost, and they do find themselves trying to understand what the hell is going on. And I raise my hand because I've been there before, right? I completely understand what it means. But if you take the time to narrow it down, take your time to question yourself, what you've known to be true and how it fits in your life now, and then when you ask the question of what is the path, I promise you the answer will come to you. It will. The universe is always listening, right? And in my path now, using the word Oladumadre is God. That is the same. It synchronizes with, kind of universe, right? So I promise it will help. I can't talk today. I don't know what it is, but I promise if you ask the question, the answer will come. Don't jump out there and start just running along the way and getting lost. And if you do have the opportunity to find yourself back at the basics. And nothing is wrong with starting over at the basics, because it's from there that you've accumulated all of this knowledge. And when you return to the basics, you will have more foundation and more strength to carry along your path and getting to where you want to go. So I hope this made sense. I hope this made sense. And if y'all have any questions, definitely drop them down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I love each and every one of y'all. See you later. Bye-bye.